You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. You can make this possible. So we were live yesterday from Los Angeles for the memorial service for comedian Paul Mooney. And we saw this video of the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff just chin-checking Republicans in Congress. These white folks have been losing their mind about critical race theory. It's all a bogus conversation. It's a bogus discussion. But listen to this white general lay it on the line, and he was really speaking to, after a confrontation earlier, Congressman Matt Gaetz, as well as Lloyd, who's the Pentagon Secretary of Defense. Listen to this general break it down, and we're going to talk, and after this, I'm going to explain why mainstream media is screwing this thing up on critical race theory. Watch this.
First of all, on the issue of critical race theory, et cetera, I'll obviously have to get much smarter on whatever the theory is. But I do think it's important, actually, for those of us in uniform to be open-minded and be widely read. And the United States Military Academy is a university. And it is important that we train and we understand. And I want to understand white rage, and I'm white, and I want to understand it. So what is it that caused thousands of people to assault this building and try to overturn the Constitution of the United States of America? What caused that? I want to find that out. I want to maintain an open mind here, and I do want to analyze it. It's important that we understand that, because our soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and Guardians, they come from the American people. So it is important that the leaders, now and in the future, do understand it. I've read Mao Zedong. I've read Karl Marx. I've read Lenin. That doesn't make me a communist. So what is wrong with understanding, having some situational understanding about the country for which we are here to defend? And I personally find it offensive that we are accusing the United States military, our general officers, our commissioned, non-commissioned officers, of being, quote, woke or something else because we're studying some theories that are out there. That was started at Harvard Law School years ago, and it proposed that there were laws in the United States, antebellum laws prior to the Civil War, that led to a power differential with African Americans that were 3/4 of a human being when this country was formed. And then we had a Civil War and Emancipation Proclamation to change it. And we brought it up to the Civil Rights Act in 1964. It took another 100 years to change that. So look, I do want to know. And I respect your service, and you and I are both Green Berets. But I want to know. And it matters to our military and the discipline and cohesion of this military. And I thank you for the opportunity to make a comment on that.
Thank you, General.
I think the only thing he wanted to add at the end of that, Greg, was dumbasses.
Well, he was very, chairman of the Joint Chiefs, Chairman Mark Milley, did a good job, I thought, of doing this is what military historians, y'all understand, when you're talking to military historians, this is what they study. Who won, who lost, and why. So I'm no patriot. I don't give a damn. But this man clearly is a patriot. He wants his country to continue. So he understands. You heard him say, I read Mao, I read Marx, I read Lenin. I'm not a communist. But military thinkers and strategists understand you got to know your opponent. His opponent is white nationalists who are going to destroy his country. And understand, listen to the language of a military thinker. He said power differential when he said between blacks and whites. Now, he got the percentages wrong. It's not 3/4, it's 3/5, but that's forgivable. He said power differential. He understands that in order to neutralize this threat to his country, he's got to know what they're thinking. Finally, you saw Matt Gaetz shake his head. At that point, I think what was going through his mind is, I wonder what Joel Greenberg told the feds about me and that 17-year-old girl. Anyway.
Here's I think where mainstream media is screwing up again, Reese. So Steve Bannon has discussed this. This was Roger Ailes' strategy. It is conservative strategy. They create bullshit. They then challenge mainstream media, why aren't you covering it? Then they cover it. I saw the segment that Joy Ann Reid had that fooled Christopher Rufo. I saw a lot of the other ones as well. Here's the whole deal. They make no sense. They want you to talk about it. This is how mainstream media should be discussing critical race theory. We ain't talking about it. It's not been taught in the schools. We ain't wasting our damn time. These are a bunch of yahoos who are trying to gin up white folks. That's it. But even by having Rufo on, and I get Joy's point, but even by having Rufo on, for Rufo, that's a win.
That's
because
right.
you're actually expending 10, 12 minutes amplifying a BS story that they've actually created. That's what's going on here. And I just think they keep falling for the banana in the tailpipe, and they get played every time. They should tell Republicans and conservatives who come up with this stuff, go to hell. Go to hell.
Exactly.
It's a big lie with Trump winning, and it's a big damn lie with this one.
Absolutely. I'm so tired of goddamn hearing about critical race theory. That's why I said last week, blah, 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 blah. Okay? All critical race theory is at this point is it's so far divorced from the actual substance behind it, and it's a catch-all for you guys are teaching everybody about how messed up, I ain't gonna say the F word, how messed up this country has been to people who are not white, and even to some white people, to be honest with you, because like I've said before, the poor white people up in Kentucky that's losing their legs because they got diabetes and ain't got no rural hospitals, that's still white supremacy. You're just on the other end of that, even though you're white, because you're voting with the white nationalist party who's going to keep them hospitals out of your districts. And so I'm sick of hearing about it. It's a bunch of hysteria. It's the new radical Islamic terrorists. It's the new migrant caravan. It's the new Antifa. It's, hell, even the new Black Lives Matter, okay? And so what they have done, what Republicans are absolutely genius of doing, is creating a new term, not a new term, but maybe co-opting, let me say that, they're co-opting a term to give that dog whistle that allows for this white grievance politics that energizes their base. And what it does is it makes everybody have to come to their side of the narrative, and you're forced to have the discussion, whether you're refuting it or whether you're agreeing with it. It's a win for them either way, because if you're rejecting them, then that makes them more incensed. It makes them feel like they're being persecuted and a number of things, and that keeps them riled up. And so this is nothing more than Republicans completely deflecting away from the things that have happened, like January 6th, deflecting away from the fact that they want to take away health care, the fact that they want to take away rights, the fact that they're taking away voting rights right now as we speak in practically every Republican-led state. And so what Democrats and what even the media has to stop doing is stop falling for it. End of discussion. Critical race theory is not being taught on a widespread basis. Let's talk about voting rights. Let's talk about health care. Let's talk about any number of things and change the subject. Stop always fighting on Republican territory.
Amisha, I think the default of liberals and progressives is no. We're going to explain to you what it is. That's their default. I'm explaining a damn thing. It's sort of like when someone says, well, Roland, can you explain why you made the decision? No, I made it. It's your damn... Take your ass on and figure out why I made it. I'm not about to sit here and go through all of this to get you to understand why I made the decision. No. And that's the deal. They fall for this every single time. They don't know how to tell them, go to hell.
They don't. And the frustrating part is that we see this cyclical. It repeats itself time and time again. At the end of the day, a lot of these aren't even real theories. They aren't things that are affecting people's daily lives to the point that, you know...
But it's all a lie. It's all a lie. It's just one big-ass lie.
It's a
Same
lie,
with the election.
It drives their culture wars. It drives their people to the polls. It gives them something to unify around. So Republicans have a strategy, and that strategy is working for them. The fact that Democrats are falling into it is a huge problem because they can see it coming. They should be able to see it coming because it's happened over and over and over again.
No.
You're playing to the ignorance.
No, but Misha, here's the deal. But liberals and progressives love to... We're going to educate people. No, I'm telling... This is where you have to say, y'all full of shit. Next...
And you can't educate somebody on a fallacy. You can't educate someone on a lie.
No, these are actually dumb people.
Office.
All these white folks who are showing up at school board meetings acting a damn fool. I mean, in Loudoun County, last month, the superintendent literally said, we don't teach that. We don't teach it. They came back for a second month. Again, The reality is, I don't care. People, I remember I was on CNN, John Avlon was like, Roland, no, you can't call the American voters dumb. Yes, I can. If you watch Fox News and OWN and Newsmax and listen to Laura Ingraham, Sean Hannity, Tucker Carlson, if you listen to any of these fools, Maria Bartiromo, or any of these talk radio people, and you actually believe them, you are a dumbass. If you listen to Will Cain and believe anything that he says, you are a dumbass. They are lying to you. They are liars.
They are also very strategic communicators. They are paying
strategic liars.
They are paying people to come onto their show to act as though they're the parents of students who have learned critical race theory, which is absolutely untrue because the school districts themselves, it's not a part of their curriculum. There is no school district in America in K-12 education that actually teaches critical race theory. That's not a thing.
And just like there was no voter fraud. It's the same, but what they want is they actually want the debate. But this is where your response has to be, y'all full of it, and you're stupid, and you're dumb, and we ain't gonna have that conversation. And you gotta shut them down. You have to mock them. See, I think that's the thing, Greg. You have to mock them. You have to make fun of them. You have to treat them as if they are illiterates. But when you talk to them with common sense, like, no, the guy like, no, you're not allowing me to get out of the paragraph. Can I complete the sentence? No, because you're a fool.
Roland,
Like that fool Keisha, I haven't showed that Keisha, whatever the woman. She was ignorant. She's still trying to post videos saying, I didn't give her time to talk. I'm like, because you were lying.
Brother, but like you said, it don't matter. That's what Amisha's saying. She's saying, look, they are masters, like you say. It don't matter. They don't care. And you know, it's interesting, General Milley, listening to him, I'm thinking about it again. You know, I love how these military generals who are also kind of thinkers play country dumb. He said, I got to read up on it. You know, it came out of Harvard. That's exactly right. It came out of the critical legal studies movement of the 1950s and 60s. The basic thesis of critical race theory coming out of critical legal studies is that all of these socially constructed ideas we have about society are malleable and can be moved around a power matrix based on individuals' interests. That's one of the central theses.
See, Greg, you just messed up. Greg, you just messed up. The entire Fox News audience cannot spell nor define malleable.
But they not
right
watching.
there. See, right
true.
there.
That's true, but what Reese said is right. I mean,
they can't
Reese
spell it.
told you what it is. They don't care.
They can't define
CRT
it.
is the new Sharia law. They don't care. It's a label. But what I'm saying is, not only is it not being taught anywhere K-12, ain't no student in high school, middle school, or elementary school reading Kimberly Crenshaw's law review articles, debating whether Derek Bell is better than. I mean, but it doesn't matter. When you like you said, they said, well, what are we doing? CRT. I'm against CRT is the N-word, brother. That's all they need.
That's all it is. And again, these fools, if you think Trump won, and then if you actually walk around believing he was going to get installed in the presidency in August, yo ass dumb. You dumb. All right, y'all. Back to that Roland Mark Unfiltered video in just one moment.
Racial injustice is a scourge on this nation, and the Black community has felt it for generations. We have an obligation to do something about it. Whether it's canceling student debt, increasing the minimum wage, or investing in Black-owned businesses, the Black community deserves so much better. I'm Nina Turner, and I'm running for Congress to do something about it.